Hey everyone, just want to give you a quick tour of David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium here in Lawrence, Kansas. It's located on the north end of the University of Kansas campus. Let's go through some of the quick entry stuff here. We've got normal bag policy at most college games these days. Clear bags are usually the best way. Got some express entry, public entry, visitors team entry, and here we'll enter in on the east side of the stadium. This is actually the east concourse area there, sections 26 through 15, best access. We'll come in here. This is usually about where the visiting team shows up. Their locker room is actually through that silver door right there. Nothing too special in there. That's also our equipment area. I'm actually on the equipment staff right now for the football program. I've been here for a couple months now, but I've also worked 8 months with the facility, so I've got to know the ins and outs of this facility. Here we are, just got a basic view of this, usually about where the visiting team fans would sit. Basic view of the stadium. Here we've got our giant trailer speaker that we use for practice out here on the field today. It'll be put to use this afternoon. Team likes to use a lot of music during practice, get it as loud as we can and practice, just give them some game-like conditions. Here we've got the touchdown club. These are kind of like luxury suites, field suites in a way. Got little cabanas. They got TVs and food. Basically, you'll be able to watch the game as well as watch other games at the same time on TV. It's just a quick little field view. Now we'll head down the east side concourse. This is that 26 through 15 entrance. This is also where we've got our police command center for all of our security detail, police headquarters. Also, medical aid is located over here on this east side. And this will take us right into the concourse here. So we're about right here between sections, I think 24 through 23 right here. We've also got our carpenter shop where our facilities carpenter has his shop to be able to build a bunch of things, as well as you can see all of our daily facilities equipment sitting around. The University of Kansas Athletics likes to use recycling, compost, and regular trash divided up, just help save the earth a little bit. As you can see, the concourse, it's mainly all concrete, not much to it. We've got a lot of there's a 1969 Orange Bowl team. There's not much to the concourse here. It's a pretty old stadium. The stadium was originally built back in 1921. It actually opened in October of 1921. So it's been through several renovations, but it's quite old. It's definitely seen its days. We do have some renovations coming up in the process, but I'll get to those a little bit later on. Here we've got just our basic concourse stuff. We've got our maps around the stadium. We've got maps showing everywhere where each type of concessions or what you might be looking for to snack on during games or any events that might be going on. This is the home to the University of Kansas football team. This is the main thing that goes on here year round. I got some Jayhawk ATMs sitting around here. We got different types of food stuff going on. We've got all different kinds of vendors. You got, I believe, Pizza Hut, some Salty Iguana, some Biggs Barbecue. There's the metal detectors I was talking about at the entrances there. And then if you ever need some help, you've got signs posted all over the place to be able to get people some help and quick assistance around the stadium. Rally House is the big official game day store for the University of Kansas Jayhawks. They always have their gear. All of our game day gear, a lot of the stuff being sold around the stadium here on game days. You can also catch Rally House in Allen Fieldhouse and down on Massachusetts Street downtown here in Lawrence, Kansas. I got some Dippin' Dots here as well. Can't go wrong with Dippin' Dots. You gotta have Dippin' Dots at every football game. The other thing I do like about this stadium is that it does sit right on the north edge of campus, so it's a part of campus, but it's also about to hit the surrounding neighborhoods. These are our seat backs here. As you can see, there's a lot of little blue seat chairs around the stadium. A lot of people can rent those or pay for those to have those for the season for their season ticket seats. I got Chick-fil-A in the house. Chick-fil-A is always a big contributor to University of Kansas football and Kansas athletics. If there's some things that I would like to change about the facility, is it definitely does need its upgrades. It could use an enclosed concourse. Just keep it from the elements, because as we start getting into the later games of the year, wind starts blowing a little bit. You'd like to be able to retreat to a little bit of a concourse to at least give you some cover of some kind, but it's a pretty open air concourse that we have here at Memorial Stadium. I got Cold Stone, always a popular spot to hit. Biggs Barbecue, they are definitely take care of the football team and getting them some good barbecue. We got, looks like Salty Iguana coming up here. They've got some pretty good Mexican food. A lot of the coaches like eating there as well. We'll be rolling up here to fan information shortly. If you ever have any questions about stadium, anything that's going on a game day, where you can find certain things, these people are always willing to help. We actually have our game day shuttle carts for fans or anybody that's needing a shuttle to anything, but this is definitely the place to come if you have any questions to ask, or looking for something, might have lost somebody, anything like that. Definitely lost and found. Up there we've got our indoor facility under construction, and I'll cover a little bit more of that coming up. So now we just went through around the north end of the stadium here. Now we're coming up through the west side sections, and I'll take you down this way here. This is actually the home side of the stadium. We'll actually be underneath the grandstand and the press box area here. Definitely, as you can tell, it's definitely seen its days, but it still is a nice stadium. There's a lot of history here. Some good teams, some bad teams, but it's always held a lot of good memories. Here in just a second, we'll get you to a view of the home side seating here. Definitely talk about a couple more things we've hosted, would like to host as well. We always have hosted graduation. The spring graduation is usually held here. We usually have commencement right here in the stadium. Everybody likes to walk down Campanile Hill down into the stadium as part of graduating, is a big thing with that. As you can see, we've got our tailgating tents up there. A lot of tailgating goes on. A lot of partying on the hill there. The practice fields are out that way as well. Here we've got the press box view from the home side stands. As you can see, the newly named David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium lettering is up on the press box now. There's the Field Goal Club. You actually have to be I believe a K Club member or one of the two. Have to have a membership to have access to that on game days, and it's got a pretty cool seating, serve a lot of alcohol. We got our Ring of Honor up around the stadium, a lot of inductees here. Well, let's take you on top of the press box here first. We'll get ready to take you up on top. Got a lot of rules following the elevators. It's actually one of the things I would like to see when the new renovations happen is faster elevators, but we'll take you up to level 9 to the photo deck and TV and radio booths on our super slow elevator here, but I'll speed up the process and we'll jump right up to the top. Alright, so we're here on the camera deck and the TV and radio booth area, and we'll come walking out and I'll give you a nice view of the top of the press box and nice view of campus there. We're looking out towards the Student Union, Campanile Hill, tailgating tents there. There's the Touchdown Club with all the luxury seating, our practice fields. And here's a good view of the Oriad, good view of Lawrence overall from up here on top of the press box. The field itself was actually redone in, I believe, 2013. We took the track. We used to have a track around the whole entire stadium where we hosted track and field events as well. Not so much anymore because we have the newly renovated Rock Chalk Park. There's our practice fields. They've gone a little bit of renovation here and there lately. Let's get a view of how construction is going on our indoor facility here. Our indoor facility is just now being built. It's roughly about, I think it started out as a $10 million project. Now it's about a $20 million project. It should be done roughly by the end of this season. So I'm looking at December of 2018, hopefully. There's a mock-up of the outside of it. Can't really see it all that well. But they are moving quite fast as long as the weather cooperates on construction on this. Let's go down to the 8th level here, and we'll give you a tour of the press area where the coaches' booths are, the radio booths for game day operations. So here's where all the media sits throughout the game day. They write all their notes, take as many notes as possible, do some of their radio broadcasting, and take care of, getting the scores out to the rest of the world, the rest of Jayhawk Nation. And they've got a pretty good view up here, as always. They got a nice bird's eye view overlooking the field and the game as well. Now we'll go to the Jayhawk network here. This is where they do all their television for game days, all their production for announcing the game, their play-by-play booth, basically. It's not a whole lot to see. It's pretty small. Down we've got the visiting radio booth here. All the visiting coaches, all the visiting staff is on the south end of the press box here. We got the visiting athletic director suite. And here we've got towards the north end of the press box, we've got a nice little seating area. We can have some dinners or some luncheons, that kind of thing, have some lunch meetings that overview. We'll overview now the new indoor facility and the rest of campus here. And I'll take you down this way. This actually takes us to our University of Kansas coaching booth, where the coaches will be during game day and control them from the air here. And then I'll take you into actually the coaches suite. This is where Coach's family usually is at, and his friends, for game day, where they have all their food and drinks and hang out and get to enjoy some KU football. And they just get to spend some time with family and friends. Now I'm going to take you inside a little bit of the facility. I can only show you so much of what we got because we actually have players and coaches on hand, so I'll be able to show you what I can. Here's our trailer. We pack this up for road games, and it takes off usually on Thursdays before the team heads to their next game. Kind of a quick overview. We're actually in the process of packing up for a road game here against Central Michigan this weekend. We're starting to get it loaded up as much as we can. Got all the gear in there. Here's a quick pic of our equipment room. Can't show you too much. Here's the locker room. It's actually redone 2 years ago, so it's fairly renovated. It's probably the nicest thing about the facility. Here's a little bit of our game day setup with the helmet, how the shoulder pads and jerseys are hung up on game days. Here's the front lobby with some of our jersey setups that we have for the upcoming games and previous games as well. And here's our FedEx Orange Bowl champion trophy from 2008. It was a great season for that team. Here's the coach's office's hallway. That indoor down there on the very end is Coach Beatty's office. Here's a picture from Coach Beatty's office and the view he has overlooking the Kansas Memorial Stadium. Here's our renovations that we have planned coming up.